When I did my contract stints over in Redmond, I was worried about the tattoos and all that. Mm-hmm. Go do the first interview. The guy interviewing me has a giant scorpion tattoo on the top of his head. What? And I'm like, wow. I don't think the tattoos are going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to take the coat off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nice ink. He's like, oh, you got some? And I take the coat off. He's like, 10 minutes of this interview is,
just talking tattoos.
Talking about tattoos and where we got them and why.
Yeah. Which to me is kind of a thing that defeats this American ideal of meritocracy. If it's truly a meritocracy, your fucking resume should stand on its own. Mm-hmm. Your job experience should stand on its own. Right. Why the fuck do you give a shit what I look like? I could paint my face fucking pink and walk into work as long as I'm doing my fucking job. What the fuck do you care?
Well, the trouble with my work is that they'll say, yeah, you can do that. Like, I could have purple hair. But you're never going to move up, and you're most likely to get scooted out or whatever.
Why? Yeah.
Like, right, but you're like, well, you definitely, we're going to judge you. Yeah. We're going to judge it.
Yeah. That's literally, we're going to judge you, not you are not qualified for the job.
What doesn't help
You do not conform to what we consider the ideal candidates.
The next 2 weeks later, I go in, and it's another 3 hours under the needle. Or under the gun, and I passed out again, and I'm like, can we not listen to Cradle of Filth this time? He's like, why? And I'm like, you would not believe the fucked up nightmares I had. He's like, well, what do you want to listen to? I'm like, put on Pink Floyd, I'll just think I'm stoned. He's like, all right. So he puts on Momentary Lapse of Reason, and I'm like, oh, these dreams are going to be interesting. And he wakes me up, he's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, what? And he's like, you said something about killing Stay Puft. And I'm like, watched Ghostbusters last night. He's like, all right, we're not going to do Floyd. I'm like, whatever, dude.
I'm just waiting for something I can actually fucking weigh in on.
Yeah.
Tattoos I got not. All the same.
Yeah, definitely.
We can get you hooked up.
No,
not that interesting.
Well, yeah, it takes a whole lot. You have to figure it out. Or not. It just depends on who you are or what you want.
Don't give a shit.
But okay, let's talk about dreams though, because you were talking about the Stay Puft Man and everything. Oof. Yeah, and so when I wake up, I spend the first 10 minutes just thinking about the dream. Like, okay, why is the dream?
Let me make a not controversial statement. Nobody wants to hear about your fucking dreams.
No, that's fair. No.
I literally just said that, but quietly.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Your dreams are not your dreams, not your aspirations. No.
Nobody wants to hear about those either.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about anyone, dude. Honestly,
But you're fucking, I had this weird dream last night. Nobody gives a shit. And this is me listening to your weird hallucinogenic fantasy that happened while you were in fucking dreamland.
Welcome to TV.
At least somebody is writing for TV with the intent of making it make sense. Your brain is just like, this is all of the things you were thinking about today. Now you're going to go climb a tower and then fall off the tower in your underwear because school got out late. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit what your dream is.
But it was cute underwear.
Yeah.
The title of Mets'
I don't know what that underwear looks like.
You can find out.
Are you going to draw me an illustration, or are you going to wear it for me?
No, he's going to model it for you.
Fine, maybe I'm interested in that. If you're going to do a live-action recreation,
I'll get some cardboard, some puff paint.
I got lots of knives back there.
I'll just get some puff paint, some cardboard, and I'll recreate everything.
Yeah. But your fucking school nightmare underwear fever dream is nonsensical. Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, okay.
It was very interesting to you because it was all the things you were thinking about all day.
You know what nobody gives a shit about is that nobody gives a shit about Mets' dream because you've been talking about it for 5 fucking minutes.
I mean, I'm digging it, and also I'm switching with. How many times have you put on your shoes without putting on your pants? Because I did that recently, and I literally walked out the door and got in my car, and I had to go back and grab my pants. I just completely forgot my pants. I was like, I got my pants on, put my shoes on, get to my car. I'm like, I don't have my pants on. Gotta go back.
Did you do this recently?
Within the last week.
So you walk out in the cold with no pants on,
It's not that cold.
and your body didn't go, "Hey, dumbass, we've forgotten something."
It feels good. I don't know.
I'm not gonna
I
argue
mean,
that.
I've put shoes on, before pants, but I've never walked outside.
Oh, I've done that a lot.
Never accidentally, though.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I've never done it, but I've never done it by accident.
No, I definitely did it on accident this week. I don't know. Like, I got a new work schedule and everything, and my brain's not working right.
Fair.
I want to keep some spare pants in the car.
You're jet lagged, whatever.
Just in case.
Spare pants. I have to wear khakis. Like,
Yeah,
You don't
I only have
wear
one pair of
those,
khakis.
yeah.
keep an extra pant in your car.
extra pant in my car. Then I have to take off my shoes in public and then put on my pants.
You've just walked out into public without pants on. Who gives a shit?
It's my
if you take your
neighborhood. It's
shoes
different.
off?
Like if I drive out of my
I think I
neighborhood.
have changed in your parking lot before.
I've changed in a lot of places. I'm not exactly in private.
My house is full of changes.
Your umbrella.
Oh, I didn't put it up, so
There's
Like-
a comedian named Steve Hofstetter.
Yep. Yep.
This guy,
Oh, he's
funny,
but his takedowns.
but he records all of his shows, and when people heckle him,
Yeah, he invites hecklers almost.
yeah, he
oh,
loves
that
it.
guy.
Might
Yeah,
have
the
heard
skinny-
of
Yeah,
this.
the skinny
the redhead. Yeah.
Yeah,
He his heckler takedowns are just fantastic.
they're brutal. They're amazing.
I mean, his shows are great, but I'll jump on his YouTube channel just to watch him take down hecklers.
Oh yeah, and they're
And
fantastic.
he's not. I mean, he's not pulling punches.
You definitely tell, like, a bunch of people who've been teased in high school or grade school or whatever would definitely appreciate someone who can take down a
And
heckler.
yeah, he's weaponized that verbal.
Like, if
I
your
wouldn't
kid
say
is
it's
ever
bullying
teased in school, have
necessarily,
him watch
but
that.
Weaponized comebacks.
yeah, weaponized
Yeah.
verbal retaliation. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's anywhere near bullying. But
Yeah, no, but like
No.
as a
His-
response to bullying,
Right.
his takedowns are.
That's why I said if your kid is ever bullied in
incredibly
school,
precise.
have him watch that
Yeah.
of how to
Oh
respond.
no, I got bullied in school.
Right.
So
That's why I said, of course,
when
if
I
you
saw him, I was
appreciate
like,
it.
"Oh,
I mean,
this is awesome."
this won't mean anything to you, but one of the things that I think about not infrequently, like my best moment I think ever, was when I was in high school. I think sophomore year. This guy was bullying me. He said, "Bite me." I was like, "Okay, well, I don't eat trash," and then just walked away. And like that still plays back. I was like, that was maybe my best takedown ever, because just him just going, like, satisfying.
Yeah, 'cause how are you gonna
15 years
respond to
later.
that?
15 years
Yeah.
later, I don't eat garbage, and then just walking away.
My mom was always trying to encourage me to say something way too intellectual. I'm like, you do realize who I'm talking to, right? Well, they'll feel stupid because they don't understand what you're saying. Like, do you really think that's how that's going to go?
It doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, because playing the ultra nerd card is going to get you out of being
Right? It's so
teased.
endearing. So endearing, yeah.
But I guess my point was the Hofstetter is like he does that almost every time he
Right.
goes on stage.
And in a way the
just to
person
have
can
that-
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To have that just fucking brutal,
Yeah.
immediate.
It's surgery. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a precision airstrike. Just
Yeah.
you're done.
Too about the humor as a culture barometer too. I can't find it anymore, but I read a thing that Patton Oswalt wrote about 2 years ago, I want to say. I don't remember if it was on Instagram or Tumblr or something, but he wrote a whole thing about comedy in the new age, because it was right up to the Trump election, and talking about, kind of was the kind of a resurgence of this what he called punching down comedy, where, it's like when we're at a point now where comedy should be punching up. You're punching up at the power structures, is what he calls it. If you're at this level, when you're joking about, gays, trans, races, whatever, that's punching down. They're already marginalized. They're already facing their own challenges. That's not comedy. That's just bullying. And that's just, hey, look at us as our group. Haha, they're not us. You're othering people for comedy. And for true comedy, kind of in the satire's perspective, you should be punching at least sideways and preferably up. And that was a thing that's stuck with me. That at least where we've kind of gotten to in the culture, where most of the mainstream comedy is punching sideways at the very least, if not up.
Interesting.
Did you see the Star Wars trailer?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. At this point, I'm just so over the Star Wars conspiracy hype. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like the back when it was The Force Awakens, like, oh, Rey maybe is a Kenobi. I can't bring myself to get invested. Like, it was super exciting at the time. Now I'm just like, okay, well, Rey's clearly the Jedi heiress, maybe not the Skywalker that they're talking about, and fucking Ian McDiarmid is probably doing a part of some sort because he was in the release in the, was it San Diego release trailer or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, so he's gonna do a thing. Is he gonna be a main character? Probably not. Is it gonna be a hologram of Emperor Palpatine? Probably. There's a Death Star. Who the fuck knows? Maybe it's the spirit of Emperor Palpatine. I don't give a shit. I liked The Last Jedi conditionally. They did some stuff that was amazing. There was some that I was like, that's cool. That's very George Lucas. Thanks, but no thanks.
I will say I definitely enjoyed Last Jedi more than Force Awakens.
Yeah. I mean, and because you got the JJ Abrams who just fucking painted Ryan in fucking Ryan whatever.
Wilson.
Ryan whatever. No, Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson. He painted Ryan Johnson into a fucking corner.
Yeah.
He just like, so we got this thing and it's like we're going to build up this big mystery and then here you have Luke Skywalker and Rey. What are we going to do? Fucking what the fuck are you going to do?
What can you do?
Yeah. You painted him into a big mystery box corner. Like, fuck off. Rose was, she was. I liked the character development with her and Finn, and like the whole the casino planet. It's escaping the specific name off the top of my head. It was a good character development moment for Finn. Like, no, I understand that you're trying to escape the thing, but there's the kind of the two sides are being played by the corporate middle. Like, no, I don't give a shit. The arms dealers don't give a shit who they're selling to. They're making money. So and it was like kind of a neat little comment on
sure
political commentary, social commentary, but the fact that the whole thing was a long, slow chase scene. That's the A plot of the movie. Is a slow, excruciatingly slow chase scene that lasts a week. It's like the world's worst Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh god. Is that an Austin Powers movie with the Zamboni? Yeah. Get out of the way! Yes. Yeah.
And then we fell out of hyperspace in the middle of nowhere, but there's a planet right there at the end of this week on chase scene, like that nobody knew about. Like, yes, the time that it took for them to develop the characters was cool. The things that they did with the character development was kind of cool. Could have been done better. But again, JJ Abrams painted him into a fucking corner.
I have a special hatred for Abrams, so...
he does mystery well. And
no, he doesn't! No, that is the one thing he continually tries and fucking sucks at!
Well, that was what I was going to go to. He does it well until he doesn't.
Yeah. He insists on inserting some sort of mystery. I'd love to buy the man a goddamn dictionary because he clearly doesn't know what intrigue is, and he just I'll just throw hundreds of questions.
Yeah. So Lost.
With no answer and no point and no payoff.
Yeah, he just got too much money for doing Lost.
And
and thinks that
Yeah, and then,
Yeah,
you know.
JJ Abrams was the writer and runner for Lost.
That makes sense.
I'm like,
That is 100% his fucking...
what is it? You know.
Gives good insight.
Yeah, so Lost was, the first season was built on this big mystery of like, what is the smoke monster or whatever. And then he just kept having to come, it's kind of like Supernatural where you have to have the bigger bad every season after like, what, season 3 or season 4? It's just like, oh, we have to have a bigger bad. And Lost is like, we have to have a bigger mystery, even if it makes no fucking sense.
Like, it has to be so mysterious that even we don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he inserts all of these random the questions that no one's asking.
Yeah.
That there is no answer for.
Yeah. He doesn't know the answer.
And it's like
Random table generator.
but yeah, there was no point to it.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Or he just does completely ridiculously terrible, horrible fucking things.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like Star Wars fans, you know, got to watch, you know, Han get gutted and thrown off a bridge. Star Trek fans got to watch our entire series be gutted and thrown off a bridge.
Yeah, you gotta watch...
Thanks, JJ!
Yeah, you gotta watch Star Trek turned into Star Wars.
You know,
It was a great Star Wars movie. You can't argue that it was a great Star Wars movie.
It's a mediocre Star, which makes it great for Star Wars.
That's what I said. Fuck you and my space wizards with their laser swords. There was less wizardry, but...
There was a lot of space wizards.
I mean, Khan was a great space wizard.
Khan was kind of space wizardy, yeah. But
I mean,
you know, it's okay.
even Spock was a bit of a space wizard.
Yeah, but it's all right. You know, Jesus fucking Christ. So, you know, a one-time throwaway of the little like beaming at warp thing that we
Didn't
could
occur
all,
to me that
that
space
we
is
could
the
all
thing is moving.
we could all, you know, just like, okay, whatever. That's a throwaway MacGuffin to get him back onto the ship because of bad writing.
Right.
But sure.
But like leading up to that, like the
but
fact
then they
that
use
Kirk,
it again.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, even before that, where Kirk happens to land on the ice planet with old Spock and also fucking Scotty with the giant space lizard ice monster.
Like whatever.
Yeah, too much of the what is that one called? Not MacGuffin. The plot
Convenience.
Yeah, plot convenience. Yeah, it's like these 3 main characters all happen to be within less than a mile of each other all at the same time on the moon of Vulcan, which
the fucking they start out with that nightmarish thing, and then they continue using it. Then you have the second movie, which is just. It's not just heavy-handed plot devices and cheesy MacGuffins. The entire thing, it is it's a nebula of plot holes.
Yeah.
I mean, you start with their ship, their spaceship.
Underwater.
And it's leaking.
Yeah.
Their spaceship isn't watertight.
I mean... If you really want to...
Why is a spaceship not watertight?
Because it's doing the opposite of what a spaceship should do.
Except for in the first movie, they showed it being built on the ground.
Fair. Which also makes no sense.
No sense whatsoever. None whatsoever, but, Then, in order to make sure that these people who live inside a volcano don't see their spaceship that they've decided to park underwater for no apparent reason because this primitive civilization is totally going to notice it in orbit, they go steal a thing and drag all of those people outside.
Mm-hmm. Where they can see the spaceship.
Where they can see the spaceship.
That should be in space instead of underwater. And they parked the spaceship, not just wherever underwater, literally right next
to them.
Yeah. And then they had to fly the spaceship over the volcano to somehow beam when they could... Yeah.
Just different space.
All right. So now we're 3 whole minutes into the movie.
And we're like 7 plot holes deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Then they then they have their big con thing, and he shoots up their Starfleet, and then
with his magical miracle blood.
But then he beams
across the galaxy.
Across the galaxy.
For his.
Why the fuck do they have spaceships if you can just beam across the galaxy?
But con magic.
Yeah.
Star Trek into plot holes.
And then he beams onto the totally uninhabited region of the Ketha lowlands, which they go to get him there in this totally uninhabited region, and before they can even land, they're surrounded by Klingons. In the uninhabited
1,000
region.
Klingons.
Uninhabited. Except for all of those guys right there.
Yeah.
So if I wave the coffee in front of I think he wants to get out.
Excuse me.
I was like, maybe I can distract him with the coffee.
Star Trek into plot holes.
Yeah.
Only. Did you
Into plot holes.
Title of your sex
I'm
tape.
gonna need you to turn that crap around so I can show Kayla the fancy label that says H2O only. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't mean all the way around, TJ.
Good job.
No.
It's mostly water.
It's mostly water.
I'd say it's like 90%
It's
water.
bean water.
It's bean juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now the water is going to taste like bean juice instead of leaf juice.
I mean, what is it? Vanilla soy latte is a 3-bean soup.
Yes. I was surprised at Solo. At how much I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Same. It was the Star Wars movie that nobody asked for, that everybody loved.
Yeah, it was not terrible.
Yeah.
Did not.
Big screw happens.
I have a very, also not being a Star Wars fan overall, I had a very, very low opinion of the terrorist one. The one where they're all terrorists.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah. I'm sorry, freedom fighters. I
mean, you're not wrong.
I really genuinely thought that was a terrible movie. The dude, I don't know his name.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah,
probably the worst character development and character I've ever Here he is. Yeah. We're supposed to believe he's the hardcore assassin spy.
Yeah.
Kind of James Bondy type, sort of, or maybe Jason Bourne. That sort of. Who,
First thing you see him do is assassinate his fucking...
Yeah, shoot his buddy, who's his contact, just to make make his escape more easy. Pure convenience for him. Totally just caps a guy.
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes later...
I can't shoot this guy.
I can't shoot this guy. There's been enough killing. 10 minutes after that, she's like, let's go kill a bunch of people. And he's like, yeah, let's go kill people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we call a moment of conscience.
It was a very brief moment, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, again, going into the, hyperspace of conspiracy theories or fan theories, whatever you want to call it, where you can argue that characters have force influence moments, where you could argue, not strongly, but Jin had a little bit of the, force mojo that influenced him to not pull the trigger when he totally definitely should have, which is why he didn't shoot. Again, very tenuous.
Yeah.
Very tenuous.
At least that almost sort of works in the Star Wars universe. You can have that sort of...
it's space wizards with laser swords.
You can have that totally unbelievable moment of complete contradictory to the nature of the character because the Force. Yeah, it's totally the pale blue PC glow. Yeah. That is important NPC, or that is another player character. You decide not to shoot them for no apparent reason.
Yeah, but then he also immediately dies, fucking...
Right, yeah.
You just had to have the plot moment where the daughter got to see the father be killed for the
Well, he had to go to work.
They do their whole thing. They do their blah blah blah.
Again, if you're looking for a contiguous plot that actually makes sense, you don't look at Star Wars.
No.
It's just.
I think probably real. There were so many great.
So you're telling me all this time that I thought that I just hadn't paid enough attention?
No. It doesn't actually make a ton of sense if you really break it down.
Thank you.
It's a George Lucas samurai film / World War II fantasy that just got way out of control.
Right. So I've seen them, but I still felt like I couldn't quite. And that
90% of Star Wars fandom, I will freely admit, is 100% nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I will absolutely give Star Wars that. A poignant discussion between Kirk and Spock is not. It might be a poignant discussion with a couple of not so subtle, social commentaries and whatnot.
Mm. Like I said,
but Star Wars fucking looks cool.
Exactly.
Like it is a collage of just great scenes.
Right.
And you're understating too the musical score. John Williams.
Oh no, I'm not understating. No, I'm.
Maybe not understating,
amazing.
but not acknowledging in this.
Yes.
So you have fantastic visuals plus just an unbelievable musical score.
Yes.
Even into the new, just the teaser trailer tonight. Or this morning, whatever. The Last Skywalker or whatever. That's right. Yeah, the last.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Rise
of the Skywalker. Right.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the musical, but just the sound score combined with the visuals.
Yes.
And just the trailer opens up and it's Rey just
Yeah. No. Star Wars has always produced profoundly evocative scenes.
Yeah, and that was
moments. Just not a great plot.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
So that's like a little thing, a little understated sound thing too that they do in the original trilogy, and less, but still in the prequel trilogy, and I don't necessarily remember in sequel trilogy, but in specifically in The Empire Strikes Back, if you have a good bass. Like a good surround sound bass system, whatever, you can hear Darth Vader before you ever see him.
Yes.
There's this like 35 hertz rumble that you may not have ever acknowledged, but when Darth Vader is using his force powers, it's even in the original A New Hope,
right.
that opening scene.
Yeah.
Where it's, you and your ancient religion hasn't conjured up the stolen data tapes or whatever. You may not consciously be aware of it, but as he's starting to, you hear there's this low rumble if you've got the big speakers for it. Yeah, if you have the speakers for it, it's that like I said, 35 to 50 hertz range death rumble from the tiger that's right behind your head that's about to eat your ass. That's built into the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I
will have to acquire a subwoofer capable of doing that.
Yeah. So if you go and again in the Empire Strikes Back, the whole Cloud City battle with Luke and Darth Vader, there's the one scene in particular where Luke has briefly escaped and he's in the hallway next to the window right before the "You're not my father" scene. He's kind of like, okay, I've escaped for a minute, and then you hear the rumble start building, and then it's dark. And Luke kind of turns around and you see, and then, shit starts flying out the window because Darth Vader's doing his thing, and Luke's like, ah! But yeah, my dad pointed it out to me because he's kind of an audiophile and whatever, and it's that was the thing that really turned me onto it when I was, he was 18 or 19 at the time when it first came out, or no, he was older than that, whatever, doesn't matter. But his thing is I remember that was what resonated with me when I was sitting in the theater in A New Hope, and I'm sitting watching, the opening scroll, and then here comes the Corvette, and then this rumble as the fucking Star Destroyer comes rolling over your head, and that's the same thing too with the big theater speakers with that they use that bass thing. Like I said, it maybe unconsciously or unknowingly, but tapped into that biological thing that we have as fucking terrified monkeys of that giant jungle cat about to bear down on the back of your skull. Like I said, with the Empire and
ironically, the thing that I think actually made me have any level of appreciation for Star Wars, aside from just neat things and scenes, was the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, the Clone Wars
CGI
cartoons are fantastic.
Cartoon things.
Yeah,
those I was like, okay,
like and less the original series that was on, like the original run of 20 cartoons. They did a
I don't think I've ever seen the actual animated ones.
They were interesting. There was a couple of pretty cool moments in there, but the actual I mean, they were both Disney, I'm pretty sure. Actually, the first one might have been Nickelodeon.
I don't know.
But yeah, the 6 series run of or 6 season run of Disney Clone Wars. Like the first season was.
It was definitely Cartoon Network.
Yeah. The CG animated series was definitely Cartoon Network.
The
the original one was.
The first season was just kind of.
It was bubblegummy and kid.
It was so I watched them with my daughter.
Yeah.
And then we watched like the first.
I don't even have that excuse. I watched them voluntarily.
No, well, that's what I was getting to. Is we watched the first season and a half.
Yeah.
And then I watched.
The next 4 seasons.
Because she was like, whatever. I'm like, no, this
and
is
they
great.
have some really good shit in there too. Like I think it was like season 3. It was with the Clone Commandos and
my favorite was definitely the.
Was it 99? I think
the deserters ones where they start coming across like the clones that have left the army and they're hiding out on backwaters planets.
But in I think it was season 4 actually. They have the clone who was introduced earlier. He was a clone, but he was defective.
Oh yes,
So he's got like kind of a gimpy arm and a gimpy leg, and he's just like their janitor basically because he can't
do
fight.
The trials.
But then they get to the next season, and Kamino gets invaded by the droid army, and all the clone troopers are in their armor and doing their thing, repelling the invasion, and he's running around with fucking ammo packs and grenades and fucking. Here's your thing, and he's just running like through gunfire. Like the droids aren't focusing on him because he's not armor or anything, and he's just chucking grenades to people. Here's your ammo. I'm not a warrior, but I'm still a clone brother. I'm here. I'm doing my part. I'm still a part of this thing, and it was a really interesting.
Oh yeah, there was
perspective, and like I said, it was like a subtle but still very poignant. Not that one specifically, but just in general, they had a lot of like subtle political commentary, very much like Star Trek. Weirdly, bringing it back around.
Star Trek was never subtle with its social commentary,
right? But again, for a Disney show about space wizards,
yes, they
even got it in at all.
Yeah, it was very, very fantastic. I really, really enjoyed the Clone Wars.
Yeah. And I only saw the first season of Rebels. I don't know if it went anywhere.
From what I understand, me and my daughter watched the first season.
But I mean, I did see the season finale of season 2 where Ahsoka faces off with Vader.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Yeah.
I left him once. I won't leave him again. Fuck. As she like throws Ezra off the thing, as Darth Maul's like.
I don't know. I wanted Rebels. I don't know why I expected it to. I just wanted it to. Because like the first season of Clone Wars was definitely very 11 to 12-year-old kind, or 9 to 12 target market, and then
And their fathers.
you know, well, no, when you get into
really.
second
It's just
season,
mean.
when you get like the really toward about halfway through the second season, is like they realize, no, everyone watching this is in their 30s, so we're just going to go ahead and make a show for them.
The people that are watching it are in their 30s that also happen to have a captive child.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, like, I think it was like the end, like, season 6, where Ahsoka's like, you know what? The Jedi aren't for me. They're a religious cult that just persecuted me without evidence. Like, you know what? I don't need this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do my own thing, which...
So I mean, but this, I don't know.
And they do agree.
The series was toward, you know, after a while became very, very sophisticated, very nuanced.
Yep. Like it got into like the gray areas of like what is war and why are we doing this and like
yeah, and it was clearly not. While it was still enjoyable for a child, it was not necessarily written for children at that point.
Now I'm picturing it being like Harry Potter, where it grows up with you.
kinda. Yeah, kinda.
And for whatever reason, I had mentally convinced myself Rebels was going to continue on that rather than resetting back to
Trying to hit
8 to 12-year-olds. And it was very much... And so that first season, I watched, I think, maybe the first half of the first season.
with his fucking
With his
Dummies.
face? I don't understand a laser slingshot?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't...
Like he literally has like a little thing on his wrist that he shoots laser.
I don't know.
It's a
I mean,
slingshot.
I mean, it makes as
Picturing
much
Fallout.
sense as the bowcaster laser crossbow.
Okay, the bowcaster has 2 giant magnets that shoot iron projectiles that are coated in plasma.
Okay.
That's their justification for it.
All right.
And somehow you need Wookiee strength to cock it. Space wizards. I'm just saying.
Space wizards. Yes. Yeah. But you know,
Wookiee
And I'm
strength
sorry,
to cock it.
that-
That's the title of
There
your
you go. Thank you. I was trying to.
yeah.
Or to control the kickback. I think what it was.
Something.
But then you
about-
have Han Solo who's like, oh, I like this thing. It's like, in the 40 years you've been with Chewbacca, you've never shot his bowcaster? Never? Not even once?
Are we talking about the weapon or Chewie's bowcaster?
You've been alone in that spaceship a lot.
I mean, I do
And
love...
apparently they
I
It's
know
a
it's...
long boat ride.
So I'm going a little bit off
Apparently they
the,
cuddle well.
off the thing, but it was, I think it was
Yeah.
like a Tumblr-ish, whatever, or Reddit thread, like talking about how, you know, life, you know, the Wookiee life debt. Han is the dog. Like, if you had a very friendly, loyal dog that saved your life one time, wouldn't you dedicate your life to keeping it and its children alive? That makes a hell of a lot more sense than this way intelligent 200-year-old
Yes.
being just palling around being like the black.
Yeah. No.
Han's the dog.
Han's the dog. Yeah.
He's
Han's Chewie's
scrappy.
pet.
Yeah, he's scrappy and friendly and a little bit cute.
Yeah.
But Chewbacca's like, what the fuck are you doing? Get sit the fuck down. Okay, you're in charge. Fly the spaceship. Okay. No. Han's definitely the fucking German Shepherd. Maybe like a terrier. It's more of a terrier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack Russell.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause
the other,
his
you know what
loud
else I
mouth
want?
always getting in
I
trouble.
want.
A little
I
bit
want-
independent, but always
Yeah.
comes back.
I would love to see a movie where Boba Fett actually did something. Because otherwise, really, on screen, the only things Boba Fett does is just look cooler than everyone else.
No, he did cry over his father's helmet the one time.
And didn't
Okay.
he push the sled with Han and the...
Right, but
He just had he had cool armor and said no disintegrations. Yeah, that's
that that was only.
and then immediately followed by him screaming like a bitch as he fell into a fucking
pit,
into a
Sarlacc pit. Yeah, you know, I mean,
like again, mystery done well,
you know,
arguably. It's like, okay, you gave him minimal, and then you can write all the backstory you want.
right.
And they did
Like-
write the Mandalorian thing was pretty cool, especially when you go like back to the Old Republic. like the Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
Sure.
Like the 2 especially, they kind of delved into it. But yeah, it's like, okay, here's this whole cool warrior culture in the
Yeah.
But
my problem,
integrations.
like, if I don't know, I would love to see a Mandalorian movie, mostly just so you can just see some dudes with the awesome Mandalorian helmets, and that's really all you care about, and then them just roll through on some contract and then just wreck shit. It just 2 hours of them blowing up shit. I don't need a whole lot of backstory, a whole lot of character development.
Yep.
Just
These are
like,
space
do
commandos.
the thing that Star Wars does well, which is great action scenes.
So it's just space commandos John Wicking it around. Yeah. Flip side of that, though, the Mandalorian arc in the Clone Wars going back was fantastic. Where it's like their
Death Watch.
The Death Watch was the radical faction that was super
not all
militarist.
of that.
The conservative traditionalist militarist faction that wanted to redo the now pacifistic Mandalorian thing and the whole thing.
The Darksaber and the whole thing. No, it was.
Well, the Darksaber was Rebels, but was that
Pre-Vizsla
yeah. But it came back in Rebels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it came back in season 2 of Rebels. That
well,
Sabine,
of course it does. You've got it's a fucking black lightsaber.
It's a black sword lightsaber thing. But yeah, Sabine, the Mandalorian little artist.
Sure. Yeah.
She comes back and somehow inherits the Darksaber. Whatever.
All right. Fine.
Yeah.